again. This is Math 2270 coming to you from the College of DuPage, and the title of this lecture is Midterm Grades, Commentary, and Guidance. As always, pay attention to this video, please. It will be worth your while to do so. Some overall context comments. Your midterms have been graded and recorded in Blackboard, and midterm grades are going to be turned in because the college has instituted a new process for that. Overall, I have to say that I wish people had been able to be a little bit more compliant with the process that I put out. I know there's a lot of moving parts, and I know it's not easy to encode math there, but it just makes things easier. But rest assured that I did look at the PDFs, and I did look at the often blank answer sheets and pulled it together to give what I think is a fair assessment. In some instances, probably more than fair. Now, the final exam will be even more of a crunch. It's just the end of the term, and I certainly will be accommodating all student needs, but I want you to let me know about your accommodations as early as you can, and it's even more useful for you to comply with the protocol that I'm suggesting. It just makes it easier all around. I want to emphasize that differential equations is not a trivial course. You have to know a lot of stuff going in, knowing how to do integrals and such. Also, there are many different approaches, and you have to diagnose what approach do I use on this problem. These are very challenging steps. And then actually doing them is challenging as well, because often the problems can be long. And if you start down a wrong path, you burn a lot of time, and unfortunately we have to have closed-in tests during this environment. It can't be open-ended like I normally do during the term. So it is computationally challenging, and so it's not trivial, and nor should it be, because there's some genuine skills that are going to be used in engineering, control theory, etc., that you are learning here. When you go out and work in industry, you're going to be working on problems that people have never solved before, developing a new product that was never built before. And so a lot of this analysis is important, and so the skills are important. So not a trivial course, nor should it be. But when I graded these, beyond a wholesome discipline, I was gentle in the grading across the board. I do believe learning is the primary goal, not just rendering grades, and so I do provide video solutions in a companion video, and those are published. And what I suggest you do is take the papers that you saved, because you just took pictures of the PDFs. You should go back over those and make sure you that learning can continue to ensue, and you say, oh, that's how I could have done that problem. So that will be available for you, and I encourage you to make use of that, not only to learn, but realize that some of that content will appear again on the comprehensive and mandatory final exam. So it's useful for you to recognize that and know how to do it. I will be sending individual emails to you soon, but I'm still grading and pulling things together, so those will be waiting. But from this video, you can figure out where you are. Okay. I said the grading was gentle. I'll say more about that later. I was also gentle and generous, I think, in giving you low-stakes assessment marks. And so what happened is that here, these were generously summarized. There is a single column that represents what I am submitting for your low-stakes assessment. I'm treating this largely as a participation score, and you'll see that you have 100% across the board for these. Now, to ensure that learning does happen, I do plan on issuing video solutions for all these problems, so you can look at them as we're going forward. And but these videos are a work in progress, and I'm juggling a bunch of things now. So anyway, you were treated generously here and gently here. Now, let's look ahead for a moment. The final high-stakes assessment is comprehensive. It will cover the entire course, and it is mandatory. Mandatory means if you don't do it, you don't pass the course, you didn't meet the requirements. So mandatory is important, and comprehensive means it's the new stuff we're covering and the old stuff as well. So it will not be a trivial exam either. But the final assessment also will be a significant upside opportunity for you. I make a practice in courses like differential equations to award a student no letter grade lower than they earn on the comprehensive and mandatory final exam. So you might say, oh, I had a C going into the final exam. You get an A on the final exam. You earned an A in the course because it is comprehensive. And I will figure out your grade two ways, everybody's grade at least two ways. I'll say, well, it was a third in the syllabus, but it's student friendly, giving you this upside opportunity. So the final exam will be at least 1/3 of your grade. You have an opportunity to make it the most important thing, and more than 1/3. It actually can raise you to whatever you're able to do. And here I say that again. So again, to say it, your final course letter grade in the course will be no lower than the letter grade earned on the final. Quite a deal, actually. Okay, in Blackboard, some students say, what does this mean? I'm telling you right now, and please pay attention, only 2 Blackboard columns matter right now. The first Blackboard column that matters is one that's entitled this way, and I'll tell you what this acronym stands for. Low Stakes Assessments, Midterm, Year to Date. So I am giving people 100% on those low stakes assessments. Whether they got them right or not, I'm being generous, and I'm doing that. It also helps bolster grades. I don't have a problem doing this. I expect to give you some more low stakes assessments going forward, and I will be publishing solutions for all of these. So learning will happen, and I was generous because I could be. These are low stakes assessments. Now, the midterm and the final exam, which is also a high stakes assessment, that should have been HSA, not HAS, but I'm not going to go back and change that now. So the midterm was a high stakes assessment, and so you see your grade is going to be at least 1/3 here, 1/3 here, and 1/3 here. But I do have this upside here where this really can trump everything, and you can end up with an A in the course if you get an A on the final. But anyway, for now, we've got 2 things. We've got this, which counts as half your grade up to midterm, and 1/3 at the end of the term, if you need it to. But this is our high stakes assessment, so this counts as much as this does. Now, most of you were in the same kind of range on this, which is if I were subscribing absolutely to this, to the grading thing I put in the syllabus, you all would be C-ish with what you performed there. Now, there are challenges, and so I don't mind softening this. So for your midterm grade, what I did is I took, first of all, I did grade these. I was generous in giving partial credit across the board, and I rounded up to the nearest 5 if you didn't round on a 5. So there are not so many students left in the class, and you all ended up with one of these 3 scores. So you can look at this and you can see, oh, one of those is me. Some of you, more than one of you, got some of these scores. So to figure out what is a midterm average, I say, well, this is a big thing. It's a summary of the low stakes scores so far. And this is the midterm, what you were able to deliver on the midterm. And I took the average, I just added the 2 together and divided by 2. And you see that everybody in the course right now is going to get a B. Now, there's more than 3 students, but I don't have to repeat it. More than one student got 65, so they're represented there. So this is what you're going to see at midterm. You can certainly maintain this. You could also erode this grade, but you have a major opportunity to go up. I hope that people can do this and go up. So this is the midterm grade. That's how it's calculated, and so only 2 Blackboard columns matter. Some more comments here. As promised, there is an opportunity for all students to be successful going forward. Certainly you've done this. If you continue doing this, I'll land where it is, but we do have this one that we added in as 1/3 of a total. So, but you do have an opportunity to be successful, certainly, and in fact you could have major success if you're able to pull that off. I have made adjustments based on some things students have said. For example, I started chunking those things rather than it being as asynchronous as my life seems to be. I plan to continue that, and you certainly can make other suggestions as well. So I am flexible in dealing with you, and making those suggestions is appreciated and can be useful. Also, I want to stress that there are many resources available to all of you, but I'm also going to tell you that these have been underutilized generally. During the summer, when I taught the differential equations, many more students were able to do this, and they had COVID issues too. Maybe not as much, so I'm not criticizing anybody, but there's a lot of underutilized resources here. Patty B in the Learning Commons is a very powerful mechanical engineer. She knows what she's doing, and she's great working with students. So working with Patty and Peter Grabo and the other people who are there, very talented people who are well plugged into what we're doing. And that's not mentioning even Linda Shaw, who is an outstanding graduate student. She hasn't finished her master's degree yet, but she's extremely talented, and she's there for you. And so I'm going to encourage you to take advantage of this. And I think only one student showed up during my office hours. I'm there all the time. When I say only one student, I'm saying only one differential equation student. I get a lot of ultrasound students, and I get also some calculus students and things like that. But I've been underutilized there, at least as far as differential equations go. There's a lot of support there for you. Now, I hope your circumstances allow you to achieve your goals. And, as he was a great Michigan football coach said, those who stay have the opportunity to be champions. It's there in front of you. In closing, now more than ever, time is precious. Each day must count. Do the math. It will make you strong. Look at the solutions and compare them to the solutions that you had. And I think you'll agree that there are things that you will learn from doing that, and also you'll feel that, oh, he was pretty generous grading the midterm as well. And now more than ever, take care of yourself and of each other. God bless you all.